So I've also shared this presentation on SlideShare, so you can refer back to it. In this first Hangout, I'll give a brief introduction to the 5 reasons why Sage 50 accounting users love Suntico. In subsequent Hangouts over the coming weeks, we'll look into each of these reasons in more detail. But don't miss the 1st of May, where it'll be your chance for a sneak preview of what's coming out with Suntico Release 3. Firstly, though, let's take a quick look at why Suntico exists in the first place. Small companies face a very big challenge as they try to expand. As companies grow and add more employees, they spend more and more time on internal stuff. Productivity drops, reaching the lowest point at around 20 employees before it starts to rise again, gradually. One of the biggest obstacles to productivity is collaboration between colleagues. Studies show that people can spend up to a day a week just looking for and sifting through information. Sales reps can spend up to a quarter of their time looking for and chasing up customer order information instead of making new sales calls. Suntico is an online tool that helps small businesses solve the problem of collaboration. It does this in 2 ways. Firstly, Suntico makes it incredibly easy to find the information that you're looking for. Whether it's a note made by a colleague about a customer or a formal business record such as an order or an invoice. Secondly, Suntico makes it very easy for a person to add a note or an update that can be found by anybody else in the organization. Unlike any other collaboration tool, Suntico links seamlessly to your Sage Accounting data. All of your Sage Accounting customers, vendors, contacts, addresses, quotations, orders, and invoices are uploaded into Suntico. As you update Sage 50 Accounting, then Suntico is also automatically updated. This gives access, subject to your own security requirements and preferences, this gives access to your valuable business information across the company. So back to today's Hangout, and 5 reasons why Sage 50 accounting users love Suntico. Reason number 1, to support business mobility. Most businesses these days have staff that spend a considerable amount of time working outside the office. If you're one of these, how do you find out about the latest status of a customer or project? What about the last events that happened with a client maybe a couple of weeks ago, or even worse, a couple of months ago? Try looking that up in an email on a smartphone. Of course, you can ring around your colleagues who are back in the office, but what does that do to productivity, either yours or theirs, especially when you can't get hold of them and they can't get hold of you back? We know, we've all been there. Well, with Suntico, we provide you with full access to all of your business records, including any notes and discussions, back as far as you want at the touch of a screen. Even better, we make it really easy for you to share any updates with your colleagues in a way that can be found with your colleagues when they're looking for them. In this example, I'll give you a couple of illustrations, and we'll go back into more detail in the Hangout on air scheduled for next week, Thursday the 24th of April. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to Suntico and log in to a sample demonstration account. If you'd like access to this demo account, just come to our website and register for yourself. The first point I'll make is that Suntico is a web-based system. It can be accessed from any smartphone, tablet, or conventional computer that has internet access. And these days, that's most computers and phones. How the information is presented to you will vary slightly depending on the screen size. For the purposes of this Hangout, I'm using my full screen because technically it's actually easier to share that over a Google Hangout. But if you want to try Suntico for yourself using your own tablet or smartphone, as I said, please go to our website and register for a free trial or test account access. You can just do that by going to suntico.com and clicking on Have a Try here. Firstly, notice you have access to your data from Sage 50 Accounting. Your sales accounts, your purchase accounts, contacts, addresses, and so on. It's presented differently, and that's okay. It's presented perhaps in a way that is more accessible to somebody from outside the finance department that's not used to looking at an accounting system. You'll also see that there's some other stuff here, something called My Wall, tasks, calendar, and lists. We'll cover these and other things in detail in future Hangouts, so don't worry about this too much at the moment. So, as it is, I'm out of the office, and I want to call one of my contacts. Just immediately from the dashboard, I just click on my contacts button, and up comes a list of my contacts. Unlike most contact lists, for example, the contacts on my iPhone that are presented alphabetically, my list of contacts here are presented with my favorites first. I've made them my favorites by marking them with bookmarks. I've saved these as my own personal bookmarks, and in this way I can access my most used information really quickly. To place a call on a touchscreen device such as a smartphone or a tablet, I can just touch the phone number and this will initiate a phone call directly. You can use these bookmarks for any of your favorite records within the system, including your favorite accounts or your favorite transactions or particular transactions that you are handling at the moment. To add a note to an account, the next aspect of mobility that I want to highlight is the ability to add a quick note about an important contact, account, transaction, or task. When you're out and about, it's really important to be able to add a note really easily while the information is still fresh in your mind. And this is where My Wall comes in handy. To add a note to an account, for example, there's no need to look up the details of the account. I can live, for want of a better term, I can live on My Wall. I can just reference the account just by typing @ and then start typing the account name. So, Holland Properties will visit the office tomorrow. Just a very, very simple little note. I share that, and that note is now visible to any of my colleagues that are either following me or following Holland Properties, or even if you're not following Holland Properties, if you went into the Holland Properties account record, you would see this note there. So it would appear on my colleague's wall rather like it would appear on a timeline in Facebook or other social media. So those are a couple of reasons how Suntico helps with mobility. One is the ability to look up information very, very quickly by using bookmarks, and the other is the ability to add information back into the system and share it with your colleagues really, really quickly and easily. Let's move on to some of our other reasons. The next reason number 2, remote access or access through an Apple Mac. Well, this is actually very simple. Another consequence of being web-based is that you can use Suntico to access your Sage 50 accounting data from a remote office or an Apple Mac. So just because your finance team needs to use Microsoft Windows to run Sage 50 accounting, it doesn't mean that the rest of your company can't use Apple Macs to access the same information. And likewise, just because your finance team is based in one office, it doesn't mean that your Sage 50 accounting data has to stay in that office and can be only accessed by people in that office. Reasons why Sage 50 Accounting users love Suntico. Number 3, credit control. Now, firstly, let me be clear. Suntico is not a purpose-built and dedicated credit control system. It's both, in a way, much more and much less than that. What Suntico is, however, is an effective collaboration tool that can be used between finance department and sales teams to optimize credit control. In this example, if you just scroll down my timeline, I've just got a simple example here. In this example, the sales rep, Callista Swenton, has a major opportunity with the account Armstrong Landscaping for about $35,000 and expecting a large order next week regarding this project called City Parks. Dolores Flowers in the finance team is able to pick up on this and say, yeah, this is great news, Callista. However, please note that the account is currently overdue and near its credit limit. Please secure a down payment of at least $20K with any order. Now, the significance of this is that it's a major account and the finance team and the sales team are in step over how to manage the situation, and both sides of the organization know what's going on at all times. The whole conversation is posted to the account record so that anybody dealing with the account can quickly see what's going on. We'll look at this example in more detail in a future Hangout. Reasons why Sage 50 Accounting users love Suntico. Number 4, purchase requisition management. Again, Suntico is not a purpose-built and dedicated purchase requisition system. But like the example I used for credit control, you can solve many of the problems relating to purchase requisition management with Suntico and without having to purchase a dedicated system to do so. And again, just through the illustration in the wall, because we'll go into this in more detail in a future Hangout. Callista Swinton has created a task, which will appear on the task list there, for Dolores Flowers, with a quote from Abney and Son Contractors, and she's attached the quote, and she's requested approval to purchase and to go ahead and place the order for these goods. In the background, Dolores has looked at this quote. She's approved it and raised the order in Sage 50 and referenced it in here. So actually, what we see is just through a couple of simple entries into Suntico, the request, the approval, the vendor quote, and the purchase order are all linked together and can be found easily against the account vendor record or the purchase order record. You can't do that in Sage 50 Accounting. Reasons why Sage 50 Accounting users love Suntico. Number 5 is that of account management and CRM. Most business-to-business companies do most of their business with a small group of existing major accounts. In this environment, many people can be interacting with the customer. Sales, production, customer service, finance. If any of your teams are, if all of your teams are aware of what the other teams are doing in a major account, not only will you be more productive, you will be able to deliver a more seamless and professional service to your most important customers. But this is not good enough, though, just for your sales and marketing team, because they also need to manage their contacts and relationships with organizations that are yet to become customers. The major accounts of tomorrow is another way of putting it. Well, the good news is that with Suntico they can. Here we have a list of the accounts that have been pulled up from accounts and contacts that have been pulled up from Sage 50 Accounting. But I'm not limited just to using this data. I can add any number of additional contacts and accounts within the system, either manually one by one like this. Or if I have a large list, a large prospect list I've been working with in an external system, I can also import them using a simple data import facility. When these prospects become customers, they can simply be merged with the Sage records to eliminate duplication. And what this enables you to do is enables you to have all of your existing customers and your vendors and your prospects, all of your business contacts in one system. But it means that your accounting software is not clogged up with a load of prospect information that is not relevant right now for the finance team. Again, we'll cover this in more detail in a future Hangout. So to summarize, 5 non-exhaustive reasons why Sage Peachtree Accounting users love Suntico are: number 1, to support business mobility. Number 2,